Hey, you guys. It is a new year, 2021, and we are going to spend the next hour and a half, probably, maybe a little bit less, in an interactive workshop. So, whether you are here live or if this is a recording for most of you, what you will need is some markers, pen, pencils, cup of tea, and a journal, and then a quiet space where we can do some reflection. So I'm going to give you all just a minute to grab some tea, some water, a comfy spot, get your journal and markers, and I will be back in 2 minutes and we will begin. Welcome, Joyce.
Hello.
My son changed my funny photo
There
there.
you are.
Here I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Great. So, what you need for today, this beautiful day, we're going to be doing a workshop of manifesting, reflecting, letting go, and bringing in the new year 2021 in a really powerful way. And so, you'll need a cup of tea or some water, something to be relaxing, a nice journal, quiet space, some pencils, markers, whatever you like to write with.
Okay.
Do you
I
have?
do. I will have to leave for just a little bit because I
Okay.
do have an appointment at 9 o'clock my time.
Oh, okay.
But then I will only be gone for a little bit and then I'll be back.
Okay.
So
All right.
will that work
Great.
okay?
Yeah, and I think you might be the only one on today, so I'm just going to keep
Oh
going.
my.
And what's that?
I said, oh my.
Oh my, I know. So we will. I'll just keep going, and then I'll catch you up with what you missed. I'll also be sending a like a PDF that has all the steps, so you can see which steps you missed and just go back
Okay.
and fill.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm getting my colors here. I don't know. I love to have different colors. I'm a color girl, right? It's like how I organize my writing, I guess. I miss you. It's so good to see you.
Oh, you too. I know. I've missed being on. It's been kind of crazy with work. My boss has been off because she had her baby in November.
Right.
So yeah. So we've got another gal that used to be our operations manager, our assistant,
Uh-huh.
that I just truly love.
Oh,
And her and I get along so well.
how good.
Anyway, she is back um, running the store
Yay.
while Carissa is on maternity leave. And I am still
Yeah.
praying that um, things do change because Yeah, I
Yeah.
told Pam yesterday, I don't know how much longer that I can really work with Carissa and our ops manager. Now it's so totally different.
Yeah.
Things just don't get done like they're supposed, like they should, and the
Mhm.
atmosphere is so different.
Mm.
And I think that's been a lot of why I've been struggling with different things
Yeah.
and why yeah, it's just put a lot of, other stress on me. And so therefore then I'm not eating like I'm supposed to, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stress is huge. It's huge
Yes.
in everything. Well, this is going to be really, really powerful for you, what we're doing today to help support that.
Cool.
So support the vision that you
I'm
are.
so glad to see you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sweetheart. I'm so glad to see you too. Um, oh, and thank you for what you wrote. We lost our dog. I'll just say it now in case I know you know. We lost our dog of 15 years last night. So I get a
Yeah.
little emotional. I'm trying not to be. He was my little guardian angel when I was so sick. He was just always by my
Yeah.
side.
Ours was 13 and a half years old, the first one.
It's so hard.
And then our last one was 11. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I understand
Yeah.
very
Well,
much.
what we're going to do are 4 steps today, and this is going to help you and it's going to help me and everyone else that's watching. And I'm actually going to keep this in the week 9 of the Kajabi Student Center, so you can come back to this.
Okay.
You can rewatch it next year. We're currently doing this for 2021, but it's a great process to do every year. And it doesn't just have to be a new year. It can also be anytime you're feeling stuck, or you have a kind of an ending to an era, or you, like you said, are struggling with a career or your health or anything. It's just a really great way to ground yourself, to reflect, to let go, and to bring in. And so there's 4 steps that we're going to be doing today with this.
Okay.
A reflection step, a creation step, a theme, and then we'll be writing a letter. And so this is a working workshop. So I recommend, like I said, everyone have their journal, their pens, their pencils, markers, tea, like have everything with you, a nice quiet space. And I'll be sending out a PDF. There will be a link for that in the recorded Kajabi section. So you can also print it off and follow that along as well.
Okay.
And I like to put on some just relaxing music and definitely start before we begin. We want this to really be heart-centered. We want it to be a place where we're not in our head, but instead we're in our body and we're in our heart. And so taking a few breaths with a straight spine and placing our hands over our heart and really connecting to yourself, connecting to your highest self, to your God, to your source, your universe, whatever it is that you connect with so beautifully. And let's just take 5 really deep, slow breaths. As you breathe in, really go beyond filling up your legs and let your lungs, not your legs, and let your stomach fill up as if it's a balloon, blowing all the way up. And on your exhale, push it all the way out. From a health and inflammation standpoint, we only use the top 1/3 of our lungs, which means we only get 1/3 of the oxygen that's actually available to us on a daily basis. As we take these deep breaths, slowly and steadily, long and deep, we bring more oxygen into our body, which creates a parasympathetic response in the body. That means that your nervous system releases. Your nervous system brings you to a state of relaxation, where you can connect with that higher self. And one more deep breath. Okay. So the very first thing in this reflection, there's 4 parts to this reflection. I'll read all 4 of them, and then we're going to start with the first one. And again, I love to color code, so you might color code them in a certain way or just however it works for you.
Okay.
So reflection, the first of the 4 parts that we're going to be looking at. Number 1, my 2020 wins and highlights were. So we're going to take a moment to write down what are our 2020 wins and highlights. And in fact, I'm actually going to take this first section and I will put it in the notes in the chat box, Joyce, so that you can have the visual too, if that's helpful. And then the second one, my 2020 ultimate gratitude list. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrational frequencies. And we talk a lot about that in here in terms of supporting our own health and well-being. And so especially coming from a year of 2020, there are things that were really hard, but I think it also showed so many of us the things that we're extra grateful for. So writing that down. Number 3 is the ways I limited myself in 2020. This is an opportunity for us to be so honest with ourselves without judgment. We don't need to be harsh on ourselves, but to simply have the awareness to see our own truth. What are the ways we limited ourselves in 2020? It could be from fear, it could be from frustration, judgment, so many different ways, right? And number 4 will be the most important lessons I learned in 2020. So we're going to take about 5 minutes for each of these. And then if you care to share, we'll do that, Joyce.
Okay.
You may need more time to go back and kind of fill in the gaps, but I want to make sure I have an hour and 15 minutes from now to make sure that we can get through all of this. So if you finish 1, then Joyce, feel free to move on to number 3, and we'll just kind of work through these and share as we go.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, my love. Can you hear the music in the background?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. I should say, as we're saying this, doing this, my friend Jen Gottlieb, who's come on, I don't know if you listened to her or not. She came in and did a manifesting workshop. This is the process that she shared with me that I'm sharing with you guys. And I've never known anyone to be able to set such strong intentions and have them manifest in her life in the most profound ways. So pretty cool that we have this guide to follow.
Okay.
Do you have the first one?
Yep.
All right, just one second here. Do you want to share? No pressure, if you want to or not.
Let's see. I gotta think back. It's been a challenging year, I tell you. With having my concussion and
dealing with all of that, and Daryl losing his job, and I guess a highlight there is that, and I haven't posted it yet, but my husband found a job.
Oh, yay.
After all this time, he started on December 2nd,
Aw.
and he just loves it.
Aw.
So I am so
fine.
excited. He actually makes more per hour than he did at his previous job. And so it's been a blessing.
That is so beautiful. Such a
Yeah.
great example of things that seem scary and overwhelming. And it's really just a door closing so another one can open, right? So we can
Yeah.
experience more beauty. And, that's awesome.
And it's, there was a lot of stress there, but, God has taken care of us and through all of it, and has provided for us. And
that's awesome.
That has been a good thing, keeping my faith and
it's huge.
Trying to get through all that kind of stuff. Gosh, what else? Working on our kitchen.
Oh, exciting.
Yes. I can't wait for it to be done.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see more pictures.
It got put on hold through the holidays, so
yeah, of course.
Such a mess to work around. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
But then Christmas Eve, my daughter Christina and the 4 girls came over earlier in the day, so I spent the full day with them.
Aww.
And then we had supper then around 6:30ish, I think it was. Jennifer and her boyfriend and the kids made it also. And so we had Christmas Eve with both the girls and the grandkids.
Awesome.
And like I said, God has provided well. We were able to pretty much spoil the grandkids this year, and the girls, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What
I
a
just
beautiful experience.
Yes, we had a wonderful time. They had to leave early, but we still had a good time while they were here. And yeah, it was great. So
notice, Joyce, how you feel when you share these things, right? Like, notice your body. It just feels so good. It lights up. And that is on a very scientific, physiological aspect. That is the vibrational frequency in your body. That is your body alkalinizing. That is your body healing. And so the more that we can focus on this, we tend as a human species, and I am very, very, this is me, focus on what's wrong. Because I want to solve it. I want to fix it right now. Like, show me all the things that are wrong so I can try and solve and fix, instead of really soaking in all the things that are right. I saw this really beautiful quote from Drew Pruitt. He's the founder of the Broken Brain podcast with Dr. Hyman. He's a really good friend of mine. And I can't remember who the quote, it wasn't his quote. It was taken from some other medicinal genius guru. But basically the thought was, there may be some things that are wrong with our body, and we focus on those, but think of all of the things that are right, that have to function and fire and operate and evolve and regenerate every second of every day for us to be as we are, even if our whole body isn't 100% perfect. And really just pivoting that thought from, oh, this is wrong with me, to look at all the things that are right. That's powerful.
Yes.
And hopefully this practice will help us to begin pivoting our thoughts, creating that awareness of when we're seeing what's wrong, let's take a moment to see what's right, which I know easier said than done, but it is so powerful. And it really just requires more and more practice. That's beautiful. Thank you. So for Joyce, you or I or anyone listening to the recording, I invite you to leave a little bit of space so you can come back, because more than likely, as you're thinking about things, this may evolve. And one of the powers of writing this down is not only to write it down and to talk about it so we can feel that empowerment and healing in our body, but to be able to go back and reread it. If you're having a rough day, go back and reread it, and that will help change the outcome of the rest of your day. So leave a little bit of space there, and we'll move on to number 2, which is very similar, right? And what
Yeah.
is your ultimate 2020 gratitude list?
Oh my.
Yeah.
Gratitude list. Yes, I hadn't really even thought about it.
We have to sometimes create space and time to make that happen, right? Creating,
Yeah.
slowing down. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really slowed down all that much. In some ways I have, but I guess, you know, since I had my concussion, I have realized more, and you know, and with working with you, that my health is important.
Yes.
You know, I know I haven't been eating properly. I still try to take time for me and just try and separate when I come home, that whatever was at work was at work. And working with me individually, as far as I know that I'm doing my job and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And if somebody doesn't care how I do my job, that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
Just trying to work with getting along differently with my boss and the couple other people that kind of get under my craw a little bit,
Yeah.
not letting it eat me up like I was.
Yeah.
And that has helped tremendously.
That's amazing.
Tremendously. I've been able to stay more on top of things. I haven't gotten down in those dumps like I did before. And I'm grateful for that, definitely. And I still have to look at those things in that manner and just, you know, I have to get along with them. And as long as I try and maintain a positive attitude and work with them, then that makes my day go better.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That's a beautiful, beautiful reflection. So take that, start that as you write, and just see what else comes up as you're just, I call it like higher consciousness writing, just letting it just flow out of your hand as if your hand is writing and not your mind. So let's take like 3 minutes here and just see what other things flow on, because that is such a beautiful start to your list.
On that note, I do have to leave, but I will be back.
Okay. Love you.
Okay.
Talk to you
Love
soon.
you too. Do you
So
want me to just jump off and then get back
you can
on?
leave it on if you want. Just hit mute.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. All right. We'll see you soon. So the 2020 ultimate gratitude list. I'll just share with you because I think it helps when we hear what other people have put down. And again, leave space to come back because writing this down and coming back to it is so powerful. But one of my greatest gratitudes that I've had this year is the fact that I have a master's in education and taught middle school and elementary school for 10 years. And so, as we all know, in the state of the country, being able to homeschool both of my children and actually have the confidence, knowledge, and ability to teach them at home has been an incredible blessing, along with the ability to work from home. I've been so grateful for that. So grateful that no one in my family got COVID, or my extended family, when they did, no one got really sick. I am so grateful that my son has the opportunity to go to this incredible micro school where he's thriving. For nature is always one of my greatest gratitudes in my life. For the health of my parents, awareness and continued healing of my health. For all of you, my clients, that put a smile on my face and lift my heart every time I see you. Flowers. I don't know if you guys, if we're friends on Facebook, you'll know that I am obsessed with flowers, and they just bring so much happiness and joy to me. I love cooking. Definitely the love of my husband, kids, and parents. And the list continues, but those are really big. So as you're thinking about this, sometimes some things might be like, oh, it's so silly to put down flowers or, little things like that. But if they impact you, then it, in a big way, that is your ultimate gratitude list. There's no silliness involved. So we're going to move on to the third step of our reflection. And the third step is really important. And I would say also probably challenging, or at least for me, is to write down the ways that I limited myself in 2020. So whether it's from fear, from judgment, from overwhelm, from simply the pandemic, from grief and loss, there's no judgment. It's simply awareness so that we have the opportunity to see where we may want to grow in 2021. So as you write this down, it's an observation. It's scientific data. It's certainly, and really work at seeing it that way rather than judging yourself or beating you up for any of it, because that will not help. So the ways I limited myself in 2020 were, and remember, this is all written in the chat box so that you can just look over those. And we'll spend about 5 minutes here. This is a hard one. If you feel stuck, ask. Take a few deep breaths, put your hand over your heart, and ask your highest self to show you the ways that you limited yourself with free of judgment. This is something you want to add to. But the ways I limited myself in 2020 were allowing fear to paralyze me, being quick to judge my emotions or to react, especially in my marriage, not believing in myself and going to a very dark place for a while, labeling myself as a fraud, allowing manipulation, if even subconscious, from my children, being certainly very critical to myself, not allowing myself to see my greatness and celebrate my successes. I'm sure there's more. So I'm going to leave space and we will come back to that. But first, let's finish up the fourth step of this section, this reflection section. And that is, what are the most important lessons you learned in 2020? So I'm going to label this category, the most important lessons I learned in 2020 were, and again, we'll take 4 or 5 minutes to write these out. As you're writing out, if you feel stuck, just take those deep breaths, ask your higher self to show you. And instead of thinking about it, just let your hand write. Free form of writing will be really beneficial. We'll take one more minute. This is one I'm going to have to come back to as well. So I'll definitely leave more space, but I'll share with you the most important lessons I've learned in 2020 that I have so far written down. Definitely the importance of having and keeping my trust and faith, not only on a global scale, universal scale, cosmic scale, but certainly just within my small little life. That time worrying is precious life moments forever lost. Easier said than done, but so very true. Being and focusing on the present is always the best way to navigate on hardships, through hardships. When we focus on what's been happening, the repetitive thinking that as humans, we are just created to, it's embedded in us to have this repetitive thinking about difficulties, which takes us out of the present moment. And when we're in the present moment, there really is so much less suffering. To believe and celebrate in my abilities and accomplishments, no matter how small. Joyce, I know you and I are very similar, and I think probably many of us are, that we feel like we need these big accomplishments to honor and celebrate ourselves. And we're really missing out on the beauty of life and the feeling that we can create for ourselves if we don't honor both the large and small daily accomplishments. Criticism is not necessarily productive unless I can see it without judgment and let go. I've always been someone who loves criticism and continual improvement. I always want to know how to improve. But the truth is that while that can be beneficial, as soon as we attach judgment to it, as soon as we become someone who then takes that and just beats ourselves up over and over, it no longer benefits us. So we have to learn to see it as scientific data, as I talked about, and to release it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. I told you there were 4 simple steps to set yourself up for the best year of your life. This first category of these 4 steps is reflection. And there were 4 parts to that. Now we're going to do creation. This is the second step. And when we write these, we're going to write them in a way. So we want to write what you want to experience as if it's already happened. Okay. There are 5 subcategories of this. Number 1, my 2020 wins and highlights were. Number 2, my 2021 ultimate gratitude list. Again, remember, this is for this upcoming year, as if it's already happened. In 2021, I experienced, and 2021, I felt, and in 2021, I let go of. I'm going to put these in the chat room so that you can see. So what we just did, it's a repeat of the last 4 steps, but the last 4 steps we're reflecting on this year. And this is the real magic. This is a key step. You do not want to skip this. This is where the real magic takes place, because we are writing everything down as if it has already happened. As you write it, notice how you feel. Notice if you can see these things taking place. Notice if you can smell, taste, touch, really go inside and be in this moment as if these things have already taken place in 2021. That is the power. That's why people make vision boards, and so that they can see and really bring themselves to these moments, right? So you can certainly add on to these as you go throughout these upcoming days. Find pictures that go with each of these, and you can make some space in your journal to add the photos. But again, we're going to take about 4 or 5 minutes for each of these, and we're going to write them out as if they've already happened, leave space for you to come back. So for creation, number 1, my 2021 wins and highlights were you'll say something like, I'm so excited. I became an international best-selling author on December 31st of 2021. I have floods of followers. I'm helping millions of people. Notice how I'm writing it as if it's already happened. That is the key here. Okay. Okay, about all right, I'm definitely going to have to come back to this because I want to spend some time creating this magic and really thinking through, getting super clear on what is it that I want in my life to show up in 2021. When we have that clarity, then quantum physics has proven that the thoughts that we have are the thoughts that literally attract and kind of arrange, as if it's a chess game, the things that we want in our life. And so when we focus on those as if they're already happened, and we feel it and we believe it, we can see it, then it just supersedes it expedites this beautiful manifestation in our life. So some of my 2021 wins and highlights were that in 2021, I have the most connected, loving, supportive, fun. I am in the most, I change it to I am in the most connected, loving, supportive, fun, respectful marriage. That it's been amazing to watch my son Tosh go to nationals for skiing. And that during that time, I was in awe. I was inspired, and I had so much confidence in him. I will tell you a little backstory on that, is that my son is a freeride skier, and he does backflips off cliffs and crazy tricks, and he's broken his bones or torn ligaments every year the last 3 years. And I get so nervous and scared. And so I am releasing that, which we'll be talking about in a minute, and instead inviting in this incredible sense of trust and inspiration and awe and confidence as I watch him this year. I've created 2 careers of supporting our family business and growing Jenny Carr Health in the most prosperous and fun way. Thousands of people are healing and showing up to do this incredible work that I love. So notice how it's already happening. This has happened or already happening. That is how we're writing it. And that is a really key component. As you write them, we don't have enough time now, but really try to pause and feel it, see it. And then again, I invite you to come back and take any pictures, add pictures to your journal. So leave some space for you to do that, because that will only, again, create that sensation within that will expedite this process even more. So the second step in this creation process is to write your 2021 ultimate gratitude list. So you might go back. This will probably connect to maybe to the highlights that you had of 2021, and it may be other things as well. So what is your ultimate gratitude list in 2021 as if it already happened? I am so grateful that this happened on this date and this time. Okay, go ahead. We'll take 4 or 5 minutes here. Okay, 20 more seconds and we will share. Okay, I'm also saving an entire page for this, but because there's a lot more I want to add, bring in this incredible year of 2021. We all deserve it. So a few things I'll share with you that in 2021, this year, I'm so grateful that I've already learned how to truly love, honor, and respect all of me. This never achieving, always desiring unconditional love. I'm so grateful for the magical warp speed health and healing of myself and my family. I have such gratitude for the fun and amazing trips my family and I were able to go on this year. They were out of this world. The abundance, increase of income, incredible community, and healing of my Jenny Carr Health audience is 10 times more than I ever witnessed and received. Such a joy this year. So again, really notice how I'm writing it as if it's already happened. And the more detail, which I haven't spent a lot of time going over these details, but the more detail you add, the more it invites it in even more. So we're going to move on to number 3. In 2021, I experienced. If you've been having a difficult 2020, then it's easy to think that 2021 is going to stay the same. So let's shift that perspective. Let's shift that way of thinking and really say, what did you experience? Whether it's part of your highlights, and maybe it's more simple, easy daily, the ways you live out your general days, right? We're going to take a moment to do that. Welcome back, Joyce. So Joyce, I have written in the chats box, we were on the part 2 of our 4-part step, and you will definitely want to go back and finish the reflection, part 1. Part 2 is creation. So what you want to experience as if it's already happened, you're writing this as if it's already happened. So for example, number 1 says my 2021 wins and highlights were. Notice in reflection, rewrote what your 2020 wins and highlights were. Now we're creating, what are your 2021 wins and highlights going to be? You are creating this now. Through quantum physics, you are actually restructuring the outside world, your outside world, so that you can bring in these things into your life. But it has to be written in a way as if it's already happened. So for example, it's amazing. One of my 2021 wins and highlights were that it's amazing to be able to watch Tosh go to nationals for skiing. I am so full of awe, inspiration, and confidence in him. So while the first part is about him, and we really want this to be about us, the backstory to that is that my son is a free ride skier and like does backflips off cliffs, and he is like an adrenaline junkie, and he's very talented, but he also has broken bones and torn ligaments every year for the last 3 years. And I am not like that. I'm not an adrenaline junkie at all. And it scares the living daylights out of me. And so what I am bringing in is that he is so successful in skiing, and I feel confident. I feel in awe. I feel inspired rather than feeling nervous, right? So that's the shift that I'm bringing in and writing it as if it's already happened. So take a few minutes to do number one. We just did number 1 and number 2, my ultimate gratitude list. So again, for 2021, as if it's already happened. I'm so grateful for the magical and warp speed, healing, and health of myself and my family. I'm grateful for the amazing trips we took in 2021. They were out of this world and so fun, right? So I'm bringing in these things. And in 2021, I experienced, this is number 3 that we're on. So you can join us here if you want and leave a blank page for number 1 and 2, or you can start at 1, however you want. But in 2021, I experienced, and again, this can go back to things that we're writing as if it already happened, and you can connect it to the highlights that you wrote about, the gratitude list that you have, but it can also be the simplicities of each day. I experienced ease and joy as I went into work. I experienced mornings free of yelling and right with the kids. Like, we can make it about the simple day-to-day living as well. So we are on number 3. Feel free to join us wherever you want in this process choice. But in 2021, I experienced, and we're going to take 3 or 4 minutes here to write about that. Okay, we'll take about 10 more seconds to finish up this number 3 in 2021 I experienced. And I'll just share this really quick to give an example of how I wrote it. In 2021, I experienced ease. This year, our family created a system for easy mornings before school. Rather than packing in my day with busy work, I made outdoor exercise, self-care, and family time the majority of the hours in each of my day. I showed up consistently and effectively and authentically in my work, which led to abundance for me as well as my community. 2021 was easy, fun, supportive, and abundant. Joyce, are you starting at number 1 or are you starting where we're at on number 3? Oh, you're muted, sweetheart.
I just started where we're at.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to share what you wrote down?
Yeah, my first thought of, what I've experienced so far for 2021 was having the grandkids here, Kian and Serenity and Ashton, for that week, and it was such an enjoyable time, the most we've ever had with them, just because their behavior was so much calmer than it used to be, and the politeness that they have gotten, please and thank you, and grandma, do you need some help? You know, I didn't see that when they were here.
Mhm.
They were just chaos, but this relationship that Jennifer's in is just awesome.
Aw.
That's been a blessing. But so yeah, that was one of the best experiences that I've had so far, and I know that will be a continued experience throughout.
Beautiful.
Now I know that when I have them come up again, that we're not going to have the issues that we had before.
I love that.
And
What an
that's
incredible experience.
that calms my heart so
Yeah.
much better, knowing that I'm seeing changes, in that aspect.
Oh,
Just another thing is with Daryl working now, experiencing a better attitude from him,
yeah.
feeling better about himself,
Yeah.
not being as grumpy,
Yeah.
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's depressing
Yeah.
when you can't find work.
Yeah.
And so experiencing the joy there. Let's see.
Those are beautiful. I love those.
And then
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
one more that I was thinking of, and this one is a me thing.
Good.
And experiencing a better attitude, going in as a stronger person as far as like with work, not letting everybody else's attitudes get to me like I had been before. Just staying on top of it and trying to look at it as, I know there's a reason that they probably have bad mood, or something's going on with them. I can't let it affect me.
Creating those boundaries.
Yeah. And also trying to turn it around as far as showing a form of a love to them instead of being growly.
Yeah. So in 2021, I created such beautiful boundaries. When I went into work, no longer was I impacted to the extent of other people's feelings. I was strong. I worked hard, and I felt great about each day. So as you're writing it, putting it in that tense, so that when you reread it, it's there, it's happened, it's so clear. And that is our goal for this section as we continue on with number 4, which is in 2021, I felt. How did you feel? We're right. And I know you haven't quite done this, but thinking about what were your highlights? What were your ultimate gratitude list? You just shared, what did you experience, right? In this new year, as if it's already happened. And so what did you feel, Miss Joyce, in 2021? So we'll take 3 or 4 minutes with this.
Okay.
Ooh, this one feels good. Take a few more seconds here to just finish up our thought. And again, I am literally leaving an entire page for each of these because I know I'm going to want to come back and add to them because I want to bring in all the goodness I can in 2021. But I'll share my big thing in 2021. I felt a tremendous release. The chronic day-to-day stress of my health, my family's health, my kids' education, our safety, our economic well-being, the chronic judgments of myself, they were released. I feel free. All of this happened because I chose to be present with myself. I chose to honor and love myself. I chose to see the good and the beauty, not of each day, but of each moment. Most importantly, this year, I rebuilt my faith and trust, and that has made all the difference. And that feels damn good. Like, I'm excited about this. Whereas before, when you think about when I was in a really dark spot about a month ago, and I couldn't get out. I didn't want to get out.
It's hard.
Yeah. And writing this down this way, it makes me feel literally as if some of these things have already happened. Like, it makes me feel that hope that I didn't feel before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to share any part of this, Joyce, and of number 4, how you felt?
I guess I felt more positive about me.
Okay, hold on. You do not guess. In 2021, I felt so positive about me.
Well, I wrote down more positive. And speaking, it's, yeah. I still have to learn that speaking.
Those little words make a difference when we're manifesting. So
Yes. Yes.
in that little, what do they call it? Word surgery.
More positive about me.
Beautiful.
I know that I am loved.
Yes.
I'm loved by my family. I am loved by my church family.
Yes.
I know that there are others that love me.
Yes. We love you.
That support in itself and knowing that has brought more joy, more a fuzzier feeling of me.
Yes.
Make me tingle like I am right now.
I feel you.
And it makes such a difference waking up and feeling that and going to work with it. My day-to-day is different than it had been before.
I love it. So beautiful.
And then, of course, spending the time with my grandkids, that has brought more joy than I could have imagined. I've been putting off having them come and stay because of the way that they had been before, when they were here all the time and their behaviors and stuff. And now I look so forward to having them come and stay with us again. I want them back. I miss them.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So, and I'm going to start crying.
I'm right there with you.
Let's see. And the release of pressures and stresses that I've had in the past. Mm-hmm. The stress of one with work, pressure as far as finances, being concerned about them, trying not to let it get to me because I know that God's going to take care of us regardless, and our needs will be met. Yeah. Just a more positive attitude of we'll get through this.
Yes.
We know what we're doing. It's not going to hurt us. We'll go on. And as before, it used to pull me down at different times, and then other things would fall into place, and then the other stressors, and then I would slip down and go into those spots where I didn't know if I really wanted to come out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels good. It feels very good, very refreshing.
I love it.
So
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to move on to this very last one, and we're going to spend just another 3 minutes. We have 11 minutes before I have to go, and the next two parts aren't quite as long, and the last one we'll actually do on our own and then regroup. But this next one feels really good. In 2021, I let go of. What did you let go of? What are we releasing? What are we giving ourselves permission and putting a very focused point, making a conscious choice to let go of perfectionism, of the need to control, of self-judgment, of poor health, of quick reactions, of judgments to ourselves, of complicating our lives? Whatever it may be, what are you letting go of? Write it down as if it's already happened, and we'll regroup in 3 minutes. All right. What did you release in 2021, my dear friend? What did you let go of, Joyce?
one, I've let go of the day-to-day stresses, knowing that they do me no good
Yes.
physically or emotionally.
Yep.
That it's better for me. It's better for me to stay more positive and let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I was just starting to write down, and I was trying to figure out getting my wording correctly, getting it going through my head. And that was after the last guest speaker that we had was Isa.
Isa.
I've let go of some of those ghosts,
Nice.
some of those negative feelings that I had, those letting go of the feeling of being a victim.
Yes. So powerful.
That was a big one.
Huge.
Because I had a nightmare just before that of being attacked by my dad. I woke up. Well, it woke me up. I woke my husband up. I was screaming in my dream.
Oh, honey.
And I had a hard time with that still for a while.
Yeah.
But I've been able to let it go and not let it consume me, and know that that was not something real.
Yeah.
It was just something, a feeling, deep feeling that I evidently still had there. And it just needed to be released.
You have the way you're sharing this, Joyce, is so powerful. It's so raw. It's so real. It's so authentic. It's so true and vulnerable. These are things that you have accomplished. And can you feel the sense and the power as you share this? How it's not just a thought, it is your reality.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. You've accomplished so much already. And so as we go into 21 and you're continuing to write these things down, notice right now all of your feelings, all of your emotions, the intensity of what you see, you feel, you hear, you like continue that intensity of feeling as you write in the 2021, as you reread this, as you continue to create. Let the power of those emotions be with you, and things will show up so unbelievably fast. Thank you for being so just real and raw and transparent with us, because it helps all of us so much.
You know, and this is the most transparent I've ever been. That is another thing that I've being able to, since I've become a part of your life in the group, I've not been able to share all these deep feelings that I've had, and all the insecurities. I haven't felt the support like I have since I've been a part of your life and the group. I feel that comfortable with everybody because I know I'm not the only one. And I know my life would be so much different had you not become a part of it.
Oh, sweetness.
I wouldn't be in this happier place and more positive about me. I wouldn't have felt as good about myself.
Mm.
Um,
We feel that you've contributed to all of us the same way. I know I feel that personally. So it is simply a reflection of the way you show up in your life and the way you show up in this group, in this community. And I'm so honored that we get to be a part of each other's lives.
it's nice being able to share
Yeah.
and know that I don't have to be afraid of what I'm feeling or what I need to say or whatever's going on in my life, that I'm going to um, be loved regardless. And even though I don't know everybody personally and have met them, I've met them this way, met all of you this way. But it still brings so much joy knowing that you're there. I look so forward to getting onto my Facebook and looking for comments and being able to share once in a while and stuff. And when I don't have that chance to be able to get on with you guys, it does bother me. I miss you guys.
Oh, we miss you. I'm so
And I
glad
think
you
it would
came
be
today.
nice if someday that we all get together.
It is happening. Like we've talked about doing a retreat. It is happening, y'all. When COVID is over, we are getting together.
Oh, that
So
sounds great.
I know, doesn't it? So good. So good. Oh, Joyce,
Goodness,
thank you for sharing. Thank you so much.
that just
I
came
love
out of the
you.
blue.
That is the power of this, taking the time, the quietness, the space to honor ourselves, to be within, to let our feelings, to feel our feelings and let them come up, to journal. And you've accomplished so much in 2020. When we started this call off in the human brain of being like, oh, it's been really hard in this. And now through this process, notice how you've shifted to just seeing the gratitude, feeling the tingling feelings, seeing your incredible accomplishments. And that is the goal, because that's what we want to bring in to the new year. So beautiful. What an incredible process. So we have two more sections, and I actually have another appointment here in a minute. So luckily these are much shorter. And we'll do this next one together really quick if we have time, or it might be something you need to think about. And then the last one, which I'll just share with you, is to write a letter to yourself. So we're going to do this on our own, and it would be amazing if you want to share it. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. But what you're going to do is you're going to take out an envelope and write "do not open until December 31st, 2021" on the front. And all these directions, again, are in the chat section if you pull them up, and I will also email them to you or post them in the group. You're going to write yourself a letter to open at the year as if it was all of your manifestations came true. So you're writing this as if everything we've talked about has come true. You're going to make sure you include these main things. I'm so excited for you because you're writing about yourself. I'm so excited for myself because I'm so grateful you felt. I'm so happy you experienced, and I'm so proud of you for creating. You can add anything else that you want, but write it as if all of this has already happened. You're going to seal it up and put it somewhere safe, and you won't open it until next year. You can even put it inside your journal. Like if you have a journal or something that you use every day, you could put it inside your envelope. Make sure you put it in the envelope, seal it up, and then paper clip it in. However, wherever, just make sure you don't lose it. That's really important. And then on New Year's Eve of 2021, you're going to open it up and you're going to read. It's going to make me cry about all the incredible things that you've manifested, even if you weren't thinking about them every single day. And you're going to see the power of this work. And then you'll have this guide to continue on and start the new year anew again. with the magic is going back and seeing what you've actually brought into the new year. So that letter you're going to write on your own, but this actually we'll probably do on our own as well, because it does take a bit of thought and reflection. I know what mine is after doing this process. So Joyce, if something comes to you and you know what it is right away, we'll share. Otherwise, we can share in the Facebook group. But the third of the 4 steps is to write down one word that is your theme for your year. It's something that you do bring into your daily life. It's something that you think about when you have a choice to make. Does this line up with my word? Does this line up with my theme? It's something to make sure you're in integrity with, you're congruent with. It is a guiding theme, a guiding direction, a guiding force to your daily living, because we may not go back and read all these pages every day that we wrote today, but we will certainly remember this one word and have it give us direction for each and every day. So, for example, Jennifer, who wrote this whole, Jen Gottlieb, who was a guest presenter who wrote this all out, hers was creation. And in this past year, she created this incredible online boot camp. She works in the media and helping people get on TV and news articles and all these different things. And hers was creation. And she and her partner created a brand new course during this pandemic when people were supposedly not getting on TV, all this stuff, where thousands and thousands of people joined her last launch all around the world. Like, she created the most powerful course that people are raving about right there. So her word was creation, everything she guided. So if you think about what is your word, mine, I think mine this year is definitely trust. Is to trust myself, to trust God, the higher source, to trust my children, my husband, my friends, my health, like all of it. It's around trust. So I know that is, does anything pop into your mind as you're thinking of this, Joyce? And again, it might be something that you need to spend more time reflecting on, which is totally fine. But I do invite you to take time to do that. Really reflect, write this word down. It's so powerful, because that is the thing you carry with every moment, every hour, every day, to help make sure everything we're writing about comes true. And then write yourself a letter, and let's be each other's accountability partners, Joyce. And whether we want to share them or not is fine, but at least let us each other know. We can take a picture of the envelope that's sealed and say, it's in my journal, it's put in my drawer, it's in a special place, so that we have that. As I mentioned, I'll be posting the PDF of all these steps and the recording. This will stay in the Week 9 Kajabi Student Center. So every year you can come back and follow this practice. So I love you. I honor you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been so good to see you, and
You too.
so healing for me to hear you open up and be my partner as we go through this. So thank you, my dear, dear friend.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Happy 2021, and I hope to see you very soon.
Definitely. Thank you.
Bye, honey.